I don't know how you all gonna take this video because everybody has different opinions, and depending on your location, will definitely change your SHTF rifle setup. To me, let's get this out of the way. To me, an SHTF rifle, it's not just one; it have to be two, because one, it's just not enough for me. And that's the reason why I use the dual loadout. But yesterday, I shared with y'all, the cost and all of that stuff, and I told y'all that the 22 was the best prepper rifle out there. So that will be the 22 right there. So SSTF rifle for me is a two-tier system, a 22 and something else. Now, I think for the majority of people, the AR-15 will be their second rifle, or perhaps even the first one. They may go with the 22 kit that you can insert and use that, and then the 5.56. Perfectly fine. If that is your 2026 STF rifle setup, no problemo. But in my environment, I see things a little bit different. The weather where I live sucks. It is as bipolar as it's just crazy. 1 minute we have sunshine, the next minute we have rain, and soon after we have hail coming down, and then poof, we wake up with snow. It's like, what is going on? This is legit. This is not me BSing you or anything like that. Alaska weather is crazy. So you need firearms for not just Alaska, for SHTF, that it will perform no matter what your environment is. So look at your environment, and that will dictate your rifle setup when it comes to SHTF and whatnot. That is the main thing in here. So I'm a huge fan, and you guys, if you guys have been with me for any given time, you guys know that I love these tools. It's a passion of mine since ever, and I have a uncomfortable amount of it. It will make a liberal very upset. But guess what? This is America. If you don't like it, get out. So for my area, and we're talking about SHTF and SHTF, we're talking about that we're going to be hunting, that we're going to be gathering, that we need something to protect ourselves. We need to combine all of that, and that's what I did. Now, I did this with a heavy heart because you guys know that I love my N1As. You guys know that I love my lever actions, my 30-30s. You guys know that I have a general love for all of them. I mean, I have showcased different tools in here. But just you gotta be realistic, and you gotta see what is the purpose that you're using it for. I don't intend to get in any battle with anybody. In fact, the population in Alaska is so low that shoot, we have last time that I checked was like less than 800,000 people. Miami has more population than Alaska. We have less than 1 million people here, and this is a state that is really big. I'm not gonna dig on you today, Texas. Just gonna leave it at that. But you get what I'm saying. We have large animals in here. It's just the threat that we in an SHTF we most likely gonna see is coming from wildlife. Perhaps we may get threat from invading forces, but that gives what I'm about to say an even more palatable perspective. Go with a big caliber, something that has a punch, something that once you hit, it comes in with authority. And I can say 308. Shoot, for all intents and purposes, that's what I give my son. That right there is my son's rifle. That's the one that we take to the range. That's the one that he trains with for serious matters. For funsies, we take the AR, we take other stuff. But this is to put food on the table for him. And this is a Savage Scout. It works perfectly fine. I give that to him. I got it from a friend, and it has a huge muzzle breaker. It helps him tremendously with recoil. Nowadays, he just enjoys it. Really, really enjoys it, and he's really accurate too. So I feel very comfortable with him using it. But as you get older, you may look into something a little bigger, right? So 308 will do the job. 308 is a respectable round. No doubt about that. But perhaps you may want to go with a little bit more classic. Something that had been around way longer than the 308. Perhaps you want to go with a 3006. You tell me who up there will not be scared of a 3006. 3006 will take down any animal. Any. So, with a heavy bullet on it, man, it will kick. I mean, it will. It's like not kick you. It will punch. I mean, definitely take down a moose. Definitely take down a brown bear. Definitely take down a grizzly. There's a difference between brown and grizzlies. People get it confused all the time, but there's a difference. So I was like, you know what? Okay, so 3006 fits the category. But here in Alaska, because the weather is so horrible, you need to have a rifle that is impervious to the weather, or at least resistant enough to the weather. I cannot in good conscience tell you all that the AR-15 will be impervious to the weather. I cannot say that. Maybe for you, your weather. My weather, a little different. So the stock, if you put a wood stock on an SHTF rifle in the weather like mine, rain, water, snow, hot, and crazy above, the wood stock will eventually fail. So you have to go with synthetic, right? Bam, I have that in there with less. Or laminated. Laminated works really well too. The reliability. When you introduce semi-auto in the equation, you do have the second, third, and fourth follow-up shot way faster. However, reliability is less than a bow action and a lever action, in my experience. I know somebody's going to say, well, if you get this, oh, I'm telling you what have worked for me. Hear me out, please. So, what I have done is for hunting purposes, what I need, listen, I don't need an animal coming at me that is 5-6 times heavier than me with ill intent and my tool fail. I do not need that at all. That is a life or death situation. So bear that in mind. Bears. So bow action works really well. Have the ability of having a glass or scope mounted and the ability to removing that scope and still have iron sight. Boom, have it there as well. So I'm just going to cut to the chase. When it comes to my SHTF rifle, after considering my EME system, efficiency, mobility, and endurance, you know, aside from the 22, I think that however I slice it in my inventory, I think this one wins all the way around. This is a Ruger M77 Hawkeye in 3006. Laminated stock, bow action, direct feed. I can remove the scope and I still have iron sight. This is literally weatherproof. A little bit on the heavy side, but not that heavy. I have put this through its paces, and it performs all the time. I have here a Leupold VX Freedom 39 by 40. It's not a huge scope, but it shoots, and it holds 0 really well. It has a 3-step safety. First step, you can open it. You cannot operate the trigger. Third step in the back, neither the trigger or the bolt. That is key. That is key. And of course, you move it forward, and then you press the trigger, and that's it. Now, how many moving parts are in here? Well, let's see. We have the bolt, and that's it. And it's easy to remove the bolt. All you have to do is just move this lever right here, and the bolt comes out. So everything is in here. So essentially, everything else, that's it. This is all. I'm in the process of ordering a firing pin. Not because I need it, because I just want to have it put away. The magazine is internal magazine. There is no chances of me losing it. You can press down here, and it is tight. Bam. And you're going to see marks in mine. That is just to make sure that nothing moves. I encourage you all to do the same. Look at my scope. I have marks in here. In fact, even here, hopefully you guys can see. You see marks? There you go. So the scope, if it moves, I know that it did. So to put the bowl back in, and this are heavy duty stuff, guys. This is not. You see? Now I am handling a safe. There's nothing here, and I have to say this for YouTube purposes. SHTF hits tomorrow. How comfortable will you be with this rifle at hand? Now I can put a muzzle breaker in here. In fact, I had a muzzle breaker and I took it off. And I tried this. It's just the cover for the thread barrel, and I'm perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. But how comfortable will you be with that rifle if a bear charges at you? Now, you only hold 4 in the magazine and 1 in the pipe. That's something to consider. Modern rifles hold a lot more. That one has a magazine, holds 5 rounds. You can put 10-round magazines as well. Something to consider. But SHTF, as I said before, I don't have plans. There's no population here to consider getting into battles or anything like that. I'm not going to be walking around with chest rig or anything like that, magazines all over me. No. My purpose is to defend my family and put food on the table. So I will say that I think that's a very feasible firearm. I think that reloading is is something that can be done fairly easy with a 30-06. I mean, you have data all over. If you find bullets for a 308, you can put it in a 30-06. It's a 30 caliber. So I don't know about y'all, but I think that 180 grains, if this is what I'm shooting out of that, will hurt a lot more than 55 grains coming from a 5.56. Not to put it down. I'm not putting down the 5.56. I'm just giving you, what do you think is going to hurt more a bear, or deter a bear more, or put down a moose easier? 55 grain bullet coming from a 5.56 or 180 grain bullet coming from a 30-06? Put it down in the comment section below. So, because you have to look at what is needed for you. And the other thing is that, unfortunately, that one doesn't have, but this right here, and I'm going to take out the bolt again so you guys can see. This one did check all the boxes. The Savage, the Scout, did not check that box, but it'll be fine. it will be fine. But this right here, you see this right here, it grabs the bullet. It grabs it, and when it grabs it, it doesn't let it go. So it's a direct feed. That means that I can load it, you know, like facing, I mean, with the rifle like this, and the bullet's not going to drop. Do you understand what I'm saying? So just bear that in mind. I don't have to worry about magazines with this. So out of my minds, I think, truth to be told, this one does everything that I need for if everything comes to a halt right now and everything collapses. Shtf, I think, truth to be told, this will be a lot better to have for me than no fancy AR-15 or anything like that. And this is just a hunting rifle. Do I have enough ammunition for it? You better believe it, I do. You better believe it, I do, because ever since I finally understood what I needed to do and what I needed to focus on, I have been focusing strictly on the ammunition that I need. 22, 308 for my son. 22 is shared between my son and I. 30-06 and 10 millimeter. For those of you who are going to ask me, Billy, what will be your sidearm? I'll be brutally honest with y'all. I hate Glocks with a passion. Hate them. I don't like them. I dislike them. I despise them. But I use them. I use them because this is not my favorite rifle. It is not my favorite rifle. I have other ones that are, to me, preferable. But I know what works and what doesn't work. And the Glock is the same. I need something that it will work no matter what. The Glock works. Take your pick. You can either choose the Glock 29 or the Glock 20. I use both interchangeably. Glock 20 goes on my chest. Glock 29 is always on my hip. If you give me a choice between the two of them, at this point in time, I use the Glock 29 more than the Glock 20. So because I use the Glock 29 more than the Glock 20, I will say that SHTF setup 1022, Ruger 30-06 Hawkeye, and the Glock 29. That will be it for me. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what your setup is. There's no wrong setup. No wrong setup in here at all. It is what works for you. This is what currently is working for me. After much deliberation and after much, incredible enough thinking and overthinking, I came to this final decision. It may change tomorrow, but today, this is it. With that being said, again, put it down in the comment section below what your 2026 SHTF rifle setup is, or your loadout. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that matter. God bless y'all, and I hope to see you in the next one.